Put your black-ass hands where I can see them before I drop you right here. Isaiah froze. His fingers were still on the velvet tray. The anniversary band, platinum, 3 carats, $47,000, glinted under the lights. I said hands up. The security guard's hand moved to his belt, to the radio, to the canister next to it. Isaiah raised his hand slowly, controlled, even though his jaw was locked. There's been a mistake, Isaiah said. No mistake. The guard's name tag read Connor Hayes. You've been touching merchandise without buying. We know what that means. The store manager appeared. Blonde, arms crossed. Lisa Hoffman, you need to leave. You're making our clientele uncomfortable. I'm shopping for my wife. Our 15th anniversary. Connor blocked the exit. Empty your pockets, or I call the real police. Lisa picked up the phone. Connor, call MPD. Suspicious individual refusing to leave. Connor grinned. Pulled his radio. Units en route. 2 minutes. Have you ever seen a life destroyed just because a security guard assumed a black person was a criminal? Everything Connor said was being recorded. Store cameras caught every word. And the call buzzing in Isaiah's pocket wasn't from his wife. It was from his captain. 3 weeks earlier, Isaiah had walked into Captain Morrison's office with a file folder and a question that wouldn't leave him alone. I want to go undercover, he'd said. Morrison looked up from his computer, raised an eyebrow. Isaiah Bennett was a decorated detective with the Metropolitan Police Department. 12 years on the force. 8 commendations. 2 Officer of the Year awards. He didn't ask for undercover work. He solved homicides. Undercover where? Westfield Luxury Plaza. Specifically the high-end retail corridor. Morrison leaned back. That's not our jurisdiction. That's mall security territory. Exactly. Isaiah opened the folder. Spread 8 incident reports across the desk. 8 complaints filed in 6 months. All from black customers. All claiming racial profiling by mall security. All dismissed as misunderstandings. Morrison scanned the reports. His jaw tightened. These went nowhere. Mall management investigated themselves. Found no wrongdoing. Every single time. And you think going in as a customer will prove what, exactly? Isaiah met his captain's eyes. That it's not a misunderstanding. It's a pattern. Morrison was quiet for a long moment. Then he nodded. You get 1 week. Plain clothes. Body camera hidden. But Bennett, he paused. If this goes sideways, I can't protect you until you identify yourself. You'll be just another black man in their eyes. Isaiah had smiled then. A cold smile. That's exactly the point. But what Morrison didn't know, what Isaiah hadn't told him, was that this wasn't just about the reports. It was personal. Isaiah was 14 when it happened. The memory still burned fresh after 23 years. His mother's birthday. She'd wanted a necklace from Brennan & Company, the nicest jewelry store in their city. His father had saved for 6 months. Put away $20 every week from his salary as a mechanic. They'd walked in together. Isaiah in his church clothes. His father in the only suit he owned. His mother had stayed home, not knowing the surprise waiting for her. The salesman saw them enter. His smile disappeared. He didn't say hello. Didn't ask if they needed help. He just watched. Followed them with his eyes as they moved toward the display cases. Isaiah's father pointed at a gold pendant. Simple. Elegant. $340. We'd like to see that one, please. The salesman's response was immediate. That piece requires a deposit. Do you have a credit card? I have cash. Cash. The word hung in the air like an accusation. Sir, I'm going to need to see that you have the funds before I open the case. Isaiah watched his father's face change. Watched something break behind his eyes. But his father reached into his jacket. Pulled out an envelope. $340 in 20s. Counted them out slowly. Deliberately. On top of the glass case. The salesman's face flushed. He opened the case. Pulled out the pendant. Set it on the velvet tray with hands that shook slightly. Isaiah's father examined it. Nodded. We'll take it. That's when the manager appeared. White. 50s. Expensive suit. Marcus, is there a problem here? The salesman, Marcus, looked relieved. No, sir. Just completing a sale. The manager looked at the money on the counter. Looked at Isaiah's father. Where did you get this cash? The question hit like a slap. I earned it, Isaiah's father said quietly. I work. I'm sure you do. But I'm going to need to verify these bills aren't counterfeit. Standard policy. It wasn't standard policy. Isaiah knew that even then. He'd watched 3 other customers make purchases that day. None of them had their money tested. The manager took every bill to the back room. Took 15 minutes. Came back and said everything was fine. Sold them the necklace. Didn't apologize. Isaiah's father never went back to a jewelry store. Not once in the remaining 12 years of his life. When he wanted to buy Isaiah's mother an anniversary gift, he ordered online. When Isaiah graduated from the police academy, his father gave him a handshake and advice. The badge won't protect you from being black. Remember that. His father died of a heart attack at 56. 3 months before Isaiah made detective. And now, standing in Meridian Gallery with his hands up, Isaiah understood his father's exhaustion in a way he never had before. The constant weight of being suspected, being questioned, being seen as a threat before being seen as a human. But Isaiah wasn't his father. He had a badge now. He had authority. And more importantly, he had evidence. The undercover operation had started simple. Visit different stores. Make normal purchases. See if the pattern held. It did. Day 1. Tried on watches at Kronos Elite. Security followed him for 20 minutes. Never approached the white customer trying on the exact same models. Day 2. Browsed at an art gallery. Staff asked for ID for insurance purposes. Asked no one else. Day 3. Looked at engagement rings at a different jeweler. Manager asked up front, "What's your budget?" before showing him anything. Each incident was small, deniable, easy to explain away individually. But together they painted a picture of systematic exclusion, of assumptions made before conversations started, of doors that closed before black customers could even approach them. And Connor Hayes was the worst of them all. Isaiah had researched him. Former police officer. Dismissed after excessive force complaints. 3 settlements paid quietly by his former department. Now working mall security like it was a kingdom he ruled. Connor didn't just profile. He hunted. The incident reports Isaiah had shown Morrison. 4 of them involved Connor directly. He'd physically removed a black teenager for loitering. The kid was waiting for his mother who was shopping. He'd demanded ID from a black woman in the parking lot because her car was too nice for her to own. He'd called police on a black family having a picnic in the common area because they were trespassing. Every time, mall management backed him up. Every time, the victims were told they were being too sensitive. But now Isaiah had him on camera. Had his voice. Had his actions. Had everything needed to prove this wasn't sensitivity. It was reality. His phone buzzed again in his pocket. Captain Morrison calling back. Probably wondering why Isaiah hadn't answered the first time. Probably seeing the alert from Isaiah's hidden body camera, the one that streamed directly to MPD servers when activated by a distress code. Isaiah had sent that code the moment Connor touched his radio. 2 minutes felt like 2 hours. Connor stood between Isaiah and the door, hand on his radio, smiling like he'd won something. Lisa Hoffman had retreated behind the counter. Safe. Protected by glass and distance and the certainty that she'd done the right thing. That she'd protected her store. Her merchandise. Her real customers. Isaiah's mind was calculating. Recording. Every detail mattered now. The store had 6 cameras. He'd counted them when he walked in. 2 over the entrance. 1 on each corner. 2 behind the counter. All of them were capturing this. All of them would be subpoenaed. Connor's body camera was active. The red light blinked on his chest. Mall policy required cameras during all security interactions. Connor was too arrogant to turn it off. And the customer with the phone, middle-aged white woman, designer purse, diamond tennis bracelet, was still recording. She hadn't lowered her phone once. Hadn't intervened. Just documented. Whether for social media or genuine concern, Isaiah didn't know. Didn't matter. Another angle. Another witness. "You got somewhere to be?" Connor asked, looking anxious. "I'm calm. You're sweating." Isaiah wasn't. But contradicting Connor would escalate things. So he said nothing. Silence was a skill Isaiah had learned early. His father taught him. Don't give them ammunition. Don't give them excuses. Stay quiet. Stay still. Stay alive. The problem was that silence felt like surrender. And surrender felt like dying. "Connor." Lisa's voice was sharp. "Police are taking too long. Just escort him out." "No." Connor's smile widened. "We wait for MPD. Let them handle it properly. Document everything." He wanted this official. Wanted it on record. Wanted Isaiah arrested if possible. That's when Isaiah understood. This wasn't just profiling. Connor was building a case. Creating a narrative where Isaiah was the aggressor. The threat. The criminal who justified whatever force came next. Isaiah had seen it before. In interrogation rooms. In case files. In body camera footage that showed restraint until the camera angle shifted, then showed violence that was called necessary. His phone buzzed a third time. Popular guy, Connor said. Who keeps calling? My wife. She know where you are? She knows I'm shopping. She know you're about to be arrested? Isaiah's jaw tightened. He forced it to relax. I haven't done anything illegal. Trespassing. Refusing to leave private property. Disturbing the peace. Connor counted on his fingers. That's 3 charges right there. I'm a customer attempting to make a purchase. You're a suspect fitting a description. What description? Connor blinked. What? You said I fit a description. What description? Height. Weight. Clothing? What crime? When? Where? The questions came fast. Precise. The way Isaiah questioned suspects when he wanted to catch them in a lie. Connor's smile faltered. Multiple customers reported. Reported what? Specifically, suspicious behavior. Define suspicious. You know what you were doing. I was examining jewelry. Like every other customer in this store. Lisa interrupted. You were making people uncomfortable. Isaiah turned to her. Kept his voice level. How? Your presence. My presence. Yes. My black presence. Her face went red. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. Connor moved closer. Watch your tone. My tone is respectful. You're accusing her of racism. I'm stating facts. I walked in. I looked at jewelry. I was polite. I didn't touch anything without permission. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't threaten anyone. The only thing that made people uncomfortable was my skin color. That's not. Then explain it differently. Please. I'd love to hear the alternative explanation. Connor's hand moved to his belt again. Not the radio this time. The pepper spray. Isaiah saw it. Noted it. Didn't react. But his heart rate spiked. His breathing stayed controlled, but his body knew what that movement meant. Violence was coming. The door chimed. 2 MPD officers walked in. Young. 1 white, 1 Latino. Both looked confused about why they'd been called to a jewelry store in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon. Officers. Connor's voice changed. Professional now. Authoritative. Suspect refused to leave the premises after being asked multiple times. Manager requested removal. The white officer, name tag Red Mills, looked at Isaiah. Looked at Connor. Something passed across his face. Recognition maybe. Or doubt. Sir, Mills said to Isaiah. Can you tell me what happened? I came in to buy an anniversary gift. I was looking at rings. Security accused me of suspicious behavior. I asked what I did wrong. He called you. Did you refuse to leave? I wasn't given the opportunity to leave. I was told to empty my pockets and put my hands up. Mills frowned. Looked at Connor. You detained him? I secured a potential threat until law enforcement arrived. Did he threaten anyone? His behavior. Simple question. Did he threaten anyone? Verbally or physically? Connor hesitated. Just for a second. But it was enough. He was touching merchandise. That's not illegal in a store. Mills turned to Lisa. Ma'am, did this man damage anything? Steal anything? Threaten you in any way? Lisa's mouth opened. Closed. No, but what? Other customers felt uncomfortable. Mills looked around the store. At the woman still recording. At the elderly couple near the watch display. At the young man examining cufflinks. Which customers? No one spoke. No one raised their hand. No one admitted to feeling threatened by the well-dressed black man who'd been calmly examining a $47,000 anniversary band. Mills looked back at Connor. His expression had changed. Gone flat. Professional. The look cops got when they realized they'd been called to cover for something that wasn't their job. There's no crime here, Mills said. Connor's face went red. He's trespassing. No, he's not. He's a customer in a public business. And unless the manager wants to formally ban him from the property with a written trespass notice, he has every right to be here. Are you serious? Yes. The second officer, Rodriguez, was looking at Isaiah differently now, studying him. His posture, his clothes, his shoes, expensive leather Oxfords, tailored slacks, button-down shirt, watch that cost more than Rodriguez probably made in a month. This wasn't adding up for them. Rodriguez stepped closer to Isaiah, spoke quietly. Sir, do you want to press charges? The question hung in the air. Connor's face went white. Lisa took a step back, because that question changed everything. It transformed Isaiah from suspect to victim, from threat to citizen with rights that had been violated. Isaiah met Rodriguez's eyes, saw the understanding there, the recognition that something wrong had happened. Not yet, Isaiah said. Not yet. I want to speak with mall management first. File a formal complaint. Then I'll decide. Mills nodded. Looked at Connor. Give him space. Let him finish his shopping if he wants. Or let him leave. But stop detaining him. Connor didn't move. That's an order, Mills said. Step back. Slowly, Connor moved aside. Isaiah lowered his hands, rolled his shoulders, felt blood return to his fingers, the ache in his arms from holding them up for 5 minutes. But he didn't leave. He turned back to the counter. Back to Lisa. I'd like to see the anniversary band again, please. Lisa stared at him. What? The platinum band. 3 carats. The one I was examining before I was accused of being a criminal. I'd like to continue looking at it. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. Or is there a store policy that says I can't shop here? Mills cleared his throat. Looked at Lisa. Ma'am. She had no choice. She pulled the tray from the case. Set it on the counter with trembling hands. Isaiah examined the ring again. Picked it up. Held it to the light. His hands were steady, even though his pulse was racing. I'll take it, he said. What? I'll take it. Do you accept credit cards? Lisa nodded mutely. Isaiah pulled out his wallet. His police credit union visa. Handed it over. She ran the card. It approved. $47,000 plus tax. She printed the receipt. Had him sign. Packaged the ring in a small blue box with white ribbon. The whole transaction took 3 minutes. Connor watched from the doorway. Silent now. His radio quiet. His confidence shattered. Isaiah took the box. Slipped it into his jacket pocket. Turned to Mills and Rodriguez. Thank you for your professionalism, officers. Mills nodded. You sure you don't want to file a report? I'll handle it through proper channels. Isaiah walked toward the door. Connor moved aside. Didn't make eye contact. But as Isaiah passed him, he stopped. Looked at Connor directly. You made a mistake today, Isaiah said quietly. And you're going to spend a long time thinking about it. Then he walked out. The jazz music followed him into the mall corridor. Soft, gentle, completely disconnected from what had just happened. Isaiah's phone buzzed again. He finally answered. Bennett. Captain Morrison's voice was tight. Where the hell are you? Your body camera's been streaming for 15 minutes. Westfield Luxury Plaza. Just finished shopping. Shopping? Isaiah, I saw the footage. You were detained. That security guard is about to have a very bad week. Sir, I need you to pull all footage from the store. Every camera. Mall security cameras too. And I need a formal investigation opened into Connor Hayes and mall security practices. Consider it done. But are you okay? Isaiah looked at the small blue box in his pocket. Thought about his father. Thought about the envelope of cash counted out on glass. Thought about 15-year-old him watching his father's dignity get questioned and having no power to stop it. No, sir, Isaiah said. But I will be. Isaiah walked 50 feet before his phone rang again. Detective Bennett. The voice was unfamiliar. Professional. Female. This is Amanda Chun, Regional Director of Westfield Properties. Captain Morrison just called me. Can you return to Meridian Gallery immediately? Why? Because I need to see what happened with my own eyes. And I need you to tell me everything before I watch the security footage. Isaiah turned around. Walked back. The jazz music seemed louder now. More discordant. Amanda Chun was waiting outside the store. Asian woman. Early 40s. Expensive suit. Tablet in hand. Her expression was carved from stone. Detective. She shook his hand. Firm grip. No smile. I apologize for what happened. But I need to understand the full scope before I take action. The full scope is simple. Your security guard racially profiled me. Your store manager supported it. They called police on a paying customer. I saw the body camera feed. I need to hear it from you. Isaiah told her. Every detail. Every word. Connor's smile. Lisa's accusations. The illegal detention. The humiliation. Chin's jaw tightened with each sentence. How many times has this happened? Isaiah asked. What do you mean? The complaints. The pattern. How many other people has Connor done this to? Chin hesitated. I can't discuss. I'm not asking as a customer. I'm asking as the detective who's about to subpoena every complaint filed against your security staff in the last 2 years. Her face went pale. There have been concerns. Concerns. 17 formal complaints in 18 months. 15 involved customers of color. 14 involved Connor Hayes specifically. And he still works here. We conducted sensitivity training. Sensitivity training. Isaiah's voice stayed level, but something cold crept into it. You had 17 complaints about racist behavior, and your solution was a PowerPoint presentation. Detective, I understand your anger. No, you don't. The store door opened. Connor walked out. Saw Isaiah. Saw Chun. His face hardened. Connor. Chen's voice cut like a blade. Office. Now. I'm still on duty. Now. Connor looked at Isaiah. Something mean flickered in his eyes. This isn't over. Actually, Isaiah said quietly, it is. You just don't know it yet. Connor walked away. His hand brushed his radio like he wanted to call for backup. Like he wanted reinforcements against the woman who signed his paychecks. Chen watched him go. He'll be suspended pending investigation. Suspended. Yes. Not fired. There's a process. There's always a process. And the process always protects people like him. Chen's tablet chimed. She looked at it. Her face changed. The store cameras. I'm getting the files now. She opened the video. Isaiah watched over her shoulder. The footage was damning. It showed Isaiah entering. Polite. Calm. Speaking with Lisa. Pointing at the display case. Lisa nodding. Opening the case. Setting the tray down. Then it showed Connor entering frame. Walking straight to Isaiah. Not checking on any other customer. Just Isaiah. The audio was clear. Get your black-ass hands where I can see them before I drop you right here. Chen stopped the video. Her hand shook slightly. He said, you heard it. She played more. Watched Connor demand ID. Watched him block the exit. Watched him smile when he called the police. This is worse than I thought, she whispered. It's exactly as bad as the 17 complaints told you it was. You just didn't want to believe it. Chen looked up. Met his eyes. What do you want? Justice. I'll fire him today. That's not justice. That's you protecting your company from a lawsuit. Justice is accountability. Justice is making sure this never happens again. Justice is admitting that your mall has a racism problem and you've been ignoring it. We haven't been ignoring. 17 complaints. 14 against one person. You kept him employed. You trained him to be better at hiding it, not better at stopping it. Chen was quiet for a long moment. You're right. The admission surprised Isaiah. He'd expected defensiveness, excuses, legal language. I inherited this position 6 months ago, Chen said. I've been trying to change things. But corporate pushback, union contracts, legal afraid of lawsuits, it's been a battle. And now I have evidence that's impossible to deny. And I have a decorated police detective as a witness. She looked at him. Will you testify if this goes to court? When Connor sues for wrongful termination. He will. They always do. Isaiah nodded. I'll testify. Then I'll start the termination process today. The store door opened again. Lisa Hoffman appeared. Saw them. Started to retreat. Ms. Hoffman. Chen's voice stopped her. Join us, please. Lisa walked over. Her confidence from earlier was gone. She looked small now. Nervous. Did you witness what Connor said to Detective Bennett? Lisa's eyes widened. Detective, answer the question. I heard him tell the man to put his hands up. Did you hear him use a racial slur? Lisa's face went red. I don't. It was loud in the store. The cameras have audio. Would you like me to play it for you? No. Yes, I heard it. And you didn't intervene. I thought. Connor knows what he's doing. He used to be a police officer. He was fired from the police, Isaiah said. For excessive force. Did you know that? Lisa shook her head. Did you ask why he was calling the police on me specifically? You were touching expensive merchandise. So was the white couple looking at watches. So was the white man trying on rings. Why didn't Connor approach them? Lisa had no answer. Chen turned to her. You're suspended as well. Pending investigation. What? I didn't do anything. You supported false accusations. You called the police on a paying customer. You allowed racial profiling in your store. I was following protocol. There's no protocol that says call police on black customers. If you believe there was, that's part of the problem. Lisa's eyes filled with tears. This is my job. I have a mortgage. I have. You should have thought about that before you decided a black man couldn't afford jewelry in your store. Lisa pulled out her phone, hands shaking. I'm calling my union rep. Do that, Chen said. And while you're at it, explain to them why you thought it was appropriate to profile a customer based on skin color. Lisa walked away. Her heels clicked against the marble floor. Each step sounded like a retreat. Chen turned back to Isaiah. I need to review all 17 complaints. Cross-reference them with Connor's shift schedule. Build a complete case. You do that. I'll be filing my own report with MPD Internal Affairs. Internal Affairs? But Connor doesn't work for. No, but he uses police tactics. He carries equipment that mimics law enforcement. He creates situations that endanger black citizens and waste police resources. That's a public safety issue. Chen nodded slowly. You're going after the whole system. I'm going after the pattern. His phone buzzed. A text from his wife. Asterisk anniversary dinner reservations confirmed. Did you find something special? Asterisk. Isaiah looked at the blue box in his pocket. Thought about how much that ring cost. Not just in money. In dignity. In trauma. In all the years of small humiliations that led to this moment. I did, he texted back. Story to tell you later. Detective. Chen's voice pulled him back. What would real justice look like to you? Isaiah considered. Connor fired. No severance. No reference. Lisa suspended minimum 6 months. Mandatory training. Probation after return. Public statement from Westfield acknowledging the problem. Independent review of all security practices. Compensation for every customer who filed a complaint. And body cameras on all security staff with footage reviewed weekly by an outside firm. That's extensive. That's accountability. Corporate will never. Then I'll hold a press conference. Show the body camera footage. Name every executive who ignored 17 complaints. Let the public decide if they want to shop at a mall that tolerates racism. Chen's expression shifted. Calculation behind her eyes. You do that. Without hesitation. She studied him for a long moment. You're not just a detective. You're on a mission. I'm tired of watching people like Connor get away with this. I'm tired of seeing black people humiliated in public spaces we have every right to occupy. I'm tired of sensitivity training being the answer to systematic racism. So what do you want? Really? I want Connor to feel what I felt. That powerlessness. That rage. That knowledge that the system is designed to crush you and there's nothing you can do about it. That's not justice. That's revenge. No. Isaiah's voice was quiet. Deadly. Revenge would be letting him keep his job and then following him around every day, making him feel unsafe. Justice is removing his power to hurt anyone else. Chen was quiet. Then she nodded. I'll push for everything you listed. I can't promise corporate will approve it all. Then make them. Isaiah stepped closer. Because in about 2 hours, Captain Morrison is going to call the local news. They're going to ask questions about racial profiling at Westfield. And you're going to need answers better than we're looking into it. You're backing me into a corner. I'm giving you an opportunity to do the right thing before you're forced to. Chen's tablet chimed again. She looked at it. Her face went white. What? Connor just posted on social media. She turned the screen. Isaiah read. Asterisk detained a suspicious individual at Meridian Gallery today. He claimed racial profiling. They always do. But when you've been in law enforcement as long as I have, you develop instincts. You know a threat when you see one. Mall management is investigating me now instead of backing their security team. This is why good officers leave the job. No support. No respect. Just accusations from people playing the race card. Hashtag Blue Lives Matter. Hashtag Security Matters asterisk. The post already had 47 likes. 12 comments supporting Connor. Calling him a hero. Saying he was being persecuted for doing his job. Isaiah felt ice in his veins. He just made it worse for himself, Chen said. No. He made it worse for everyone. Isaiah pulled out his phone. Started recording. Ms. Chun, for the record, do you support Connor Hayes' characterization of today's events? What? No, of course not. Do you believe I was playing the race card? Absolutely not. Do you believe Connor's instincts were correct in targeting me? No. The footage clearly shows. Thank you. Isaiah stopped recording. I'm sending this to Captain Morrison, along with a screenshot of Connor's post. That's going in the official report. Chen closed her eyes. He's going to sue us for wrongful termination and claim we caved to political pressure. Let him. Discovery will be fascinating. Every complaint. Every incident. Every time you ignored the warning signs. I told you. I only inherited this position. Then testify to that. Throw the previous management under the bus. Show you're different. But do something. The woman with the phone from earlier appeared. The one who'd recorded the whole incident. She walked up to them. Excuse me, she said. I'm posting my video online. The one of what happened in the store. I thought you should know. Isaiah looked at her. Really looked. Why? Because I've walked past black people being harassed in this mall 6 times in the last year. And every time I told myself it wasn't my business, that I didn't know the full story, that maybe security had a reason. Her voice cracked. Today I watched them humiliate you for shopping, for existing, and I realized I've been complicit in this by staying silent. What's your name? Rebecca Marshall. Ms. Marshall, would you be willing to testify about what you saw? Yes. Would you be willing to talk to other customers? Find out how many other incidents people have witnessed. Rebecca nodded. I'm part of a community group. We have about 400 members. I'll ask. Chen's tablet chimed. Again, and again, and again. What now? Isaiah asked. She looked at the screen. Her hands started shaking. Rebecca's video. It's already been viewed 8,000 times. And shared. Oh God. Shared 2,000 times. How long ago did she post it? 11 minutes ago. The video was going viral. Isaiah watched the view count climb. 8,000. 9,000. 10,000. The shares kept multiplying. Comments rolled in. Asterisk, this is disgusting. I'll never shop at Westfield again. Asterisk. Asterisk, that security guard needs to be arrested, not just fired. Asterisk. Asterisk, I experienced the same thing at this mall last month. I thought I was being paranoid. Asterisk. Asterisk, this is why black people can't even go shopping without fearing for their lives. Asterisk. Connor's social media post got buried under an avalanche of responses. People tagging Westfield's official accounts, demanding answers, sharing their own stories. That was the exact moment when the error Connor made could no longer be undone. Chen looked at Isaiah. Her professional mask cracked. This is going to be a PR nightmare. This is going to be accountability, Isaiah corrected. For the first time, you can't sweep it under the rug. You can't quietly settle. You can't make it go away. Corporate is going to lose their minds. Good. Maybe they should have listened to the 17 complaints before it came to this. Mall security arrived. 3 guards. Not Connor. They looked uncomfortable. Ms. Chun, one said. We need Connor to come back on duty. We're short-staffed. Connor is suspended. But who's going to cover? I don't care. Figure it out. He's not stepping foot in this mall until the investigation is complete. The guard looked at Isaiah. Recognition dawned. You're the guy from the video. I'm the customer your colleague racially profiled. We don't all. The guard trailed off. Looked at his colleagues. Ma'am, Connor's been training us. If he's gone, do we need to change protocols? The question hung in the air like an accusation. What protocols? Chen asked slowly. He taught us how to identify suspicious behavior, how to approach potential threats, how to stop. Chen held up a hand. Schedule a meeting. Every security guard. Tomorrow morning. We're reviewing everything. The guards left. Chen looked at Isaiah. It's worse than I thought. It always is. Racism isn't one bad person. It's a system that protects and trains and promotes people like Connor until they're everywhere. Isaiah's phone rang. Captain Morrison. Bennett, the news crews are outside the mall. They want a statement. From me. From anyone. The video has 50,000 views now. It's on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Every local news outlet is calling. This is bigger than a mall incident. Isaiah looked at Chun. You hear that? She nodded. Her face was gray. Tell them I'll make a statement, Isaiah said. But only after Westfield makes theirs first. Detective, I need to consult with legal. You have 30 minutes. Then I'm talking to reporters with or without you. Chun made a call. Isaiah heard her voice rising. Heard words like liability and optics and damage control. She hung up. Legal wants to offer you a settlement. Name your price. I don't want money. Everyone wants money. I want change. I want Connor fired. I want Lisa suspended. I want every guard retrained by an independent firm. I want monthly audits. I want a public apology. And I want you to compensate every single person who filed a complaint in the last 2 years. That could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then maybe you shouldn't have let it get this far. Chen made another call. This one longer. Isaiah heard her arguing. Heard her voice crack when she said, we don't have a choice. She hung up. Corporate approved everything. Except the compensation. They'll offer store credit. No. Detective. Cash settlements. Or I walk to those reporters right now and tell them Westfield thinks racism can be bought off with a gift card. Chen closed her eyes. Made another call. They'll do it. In writing. Signed. Before I talk to the press. That'll take time. You have 20 minutes left. She walked away, made more calls, sent emails, argued with people Isaiah couldn't see. Isaiah stood in the middle of the mall corridor. Shoppers walked past. Some recognized him from the video. Pointed, whispered, pulled out phones. A young black man approached. Couldn't have been more than 19. "Hey," he said quietly. "I saw what happened. That security guard. He did the same thing to me last month. I was looking at sneakers. He followed me for 20 minutes. Made me show him my receipt 3 times. I didn't file a complaint because who would believe me?" "I believe you," Isaiah said. "For real? For real. What's your name?" "Marcus." Isaiah pulled out a business card. Wrote a number on the back. "This is the regional director's number. Call her. Tell her your story. Tell her I sent you. She's collecting complaints for a formal investigation." Marcus took the card. His hand shook slightly. "Will it matter?" "It will now." 2 more people approached. Both black. Both with stories. One woman had been accused of shoplifting at a clothing store. She'd bought $600 worth of merchandise and security still followed her to her car. One man had been stopped in the parking garage for driving a suspicious vehicle. His car was a Tesla. He owned 3 restaurants in the city. Isaiah gave them all Chin's number. Told them to call. To document. To testify. By the time Chin returned, there were 8 people standing with Isaiah. All of them with stories. All of them witnesses to a pattern Westfield had ignored for years. Chin saw them. Her professional mask slipped completely. "Oh God. These are your customers," Isaiah said. "The ones you failed to protect. I'll take all your statements," Chin said to the group. "And I'll make sure you're compensated." "We don't want money," the woman said. "We want to feel safe shopping." "You will. I promise. Things are changing today." Chin handed Isaiah a tablet. A document loaded. Official Westfield letterhead. Everything he demanded. Signed by the CEO. Isaiah read it carefully. Every word. Every clause. It was all there. Satisfied? Chin asked. Getting there. Isaiah pulled out his phone. Called Morrison. "Captain, I need you to send someone to verify this document. Make sure it's legally binding." Morrison put him on hold. 2 minutes later. "Our legal counsel reviewed it remotely. It's solid. They can't back out without major liability." Isaiah hung up. Looked at Chin. "Now I'm satisfied." They walked outside together. The parking lot was chaos. 3 news vans. Reporters everywhere. Cameras. Lights. Microphones. Connor was there. Standing near his truck. Watching. His face was twisted with rage. He saw Isaiah. Started walking over. Security intercepted him. "Connor, you need to leave. You're suspended. I'm talking to him first." Connor pointed at Isaiah. "You happy? You got what you wanted. You destroyed my career. Played the victim. Got everyone feeling sorry for you." Isaiah stopped walking. Turned. Looked at Connor. "I didn't destroy your career," Isaiah said quietly. "You did. The moment you decided my skin color made me a criminal. I was doing my job. Your job is to keep people safe, not to terrorize them. You don't know what it's like out here. The theft. The crime. The black people?" Isaiah finished. "That's what you mean, isn't it? You see a black face, and you see a criminal. I see suspicious behavior. You see what you want to see. And today you saw wrong." Connor stepped closer. Security tried to hold him back, but he shrugged them off. "Who the hell are you anyway? You think you're special? You think you're better than?" Isaiah pulled out his badge. Held it up. "Let the cameras catch it. Let Connor see it. Let everyone see it. I'm Detective Isaiah Bennett. Metropolitan Police Department. 12 years. 8 commendations. 2 Officer of the Year awards. And the man you racially profiled, illegally detained, and humiliated in front of witnesses." Connor's face went white. Then red. Then white again. You're a cop?" "I'm a cop. I'm the customer you accused of being a criminal. I'm the threat you try to neutralize. I'm the man you underestimated because of my skin color." Isaiah's voice never rose. Never wavered. "And I'm the person who's going to make sure you never wear a badge or uniform again." Connor stumbled backward. His hand went to his chest. To the body camera that had recorded everything. That had documented his own downfall. "This is entrapment," he whispered. "No. This is consequences." The cameras caught it all. Connor's face. His realization. His collapse from authority figure to exposed racist in under 30 seconds. Isaiah turned to the reporters. "I'll make a statement now." He walked to the microphones. Dozens of them. The cameras focused. The reporters leaned in. "My name is Detective Isaiah Bennett. 3 weeks ago, I went undercover to investigate complaints of racial profiling at Westfield Luxury Plaza. Today, while attempting to purchase an anniversary gift for my wife, I was racially profiled, illegally detained, and threatened with arrest by mall security. He paused. Let that sink in. The security guard used a racial slur. He demanded I empty my pockets without cause. He called police on a paying customer. And he did this because he saw a black man in an expensive store and assumed I was a criminal. The reporters erupted with questions. Isaiah held up a hand. This isn't about one bad security guard. This is about a system that received 17 complaints in 18 months and did nothing. This is about customers of color being harassed, followed, and humiliated while shopping. This is about corporations choosing profit over people and silence over accountability. He looked directly at the nearest camera. But today that changes. Westfield has agreed to terminate the security guard, to retrain their entire security staff, to implement independent oversight, and to compensate every customer who filed a complaint. More questions. Isaiah answered them. Detailed, specific, professional. Behind him, Connor stood frozen, watching his life disintegrate on live television. Shin stood near the mall entrance. She looked exhausted, but she nodded when reporters called to her, confirmed everything Isaiah said, added that Westfield was committed to change. The statement went on for 20 minutes. By the time Isaiah finished, the video had been viewed over 200,000 times. His phone exploded with messages. From colleagues, from community leaders, from people he'd never met thanking him for speaking up. But one message stood out. From his wife. *I saw the news. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Come home. We'll talk about the ring later. Isaiah looked at the blue box in his pocket. Thought about what it represented. Not just jewelry. Not just an anniversary gift. But proof that he'd survived. That he'd fought back. That he'd won. He walked to his car. Ignored the reporters still calling his name. Got in. Locked the doors. And for the first time since Connor had told him to put his hands up, Isaiah Bennett allowed himself to feel the weight of what had happened. His hands shook. His breathing came hard. His eyes burned. But he didn't break. He'd made it through. And he'd made sure it mattered. I believe you meant 750 words per part, not characters. I'll proceed with Act 4 divided into two parts of approximately 750 words each. Act 4, Part 1. The press conference footage went viral within hours. By evening, it had 8 million views across all platforms. News outlets picked it up nationally. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Everyone had an opinion. Isaiah drove home in silence. The blue box sat in his passenger seat. He thought about his father. About the envelope of 20s counted out on glass. About dignity traded for a necklace that should have required no justification. His father never got justice. Never got an apology. Never got to see the system acknowledge what it had done to him. But Isaiah would. His wife met him at the door. Vanessa. 15 years of marriage. 15 years of watching him carry this weight. She took one look at his face and pulled him into her arms. I saw everything, she whispered. Every second. Isaiah held her. Let himself be held. For the first time all day, he felt safe. I got the ring, he said. I don't care about the ring. I do. I needed to buy it. Needed to prove I could walk into that store and walk out with what I came for. Vanessa pulled back. Looked at him. You proved so much more than that. They sat on the couch. Isaiah told her everything. The 3 weeks of surveillance. The pattern of harassment. The moment Connor put his hand on his belt and Isaiah thought violence was coming. I was scared, he admitted. For a few seconds, I thought he might actually hurt me. Badge or no badge. Of course you were scared. That's what they want. Fear keeps us compliant. Not anymore. Vanessa smiled. A sad smile. Your father would be proud. I wish he was here to see it. He is. Somehow he is. Isaiah's phone rang. Captain Morrison. Bennett. The commissioner wants to meet with you tomorrow. 9 a.m. He's calling it a commendation ceremony. For what? For exposing systematic racism while representing the department with professionalism and restraint. His words. I don't want a ceremony. I want results. You're getting both. The commissioner is proposing a task force. Investigate racial profiling in all public spaces. Malls, stores, restaurants. You'd lead it. Isaiah sat up. Seriously? Dead serious. This is bigger than Westfield now. People are coming forward everywhere. A department store in Silver Spring. A restaurant in Georgetown. A gym in Alexandria. Your case opened the floodgates. I'll do it. Thought you might. Get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be intense. Isaiah hung up. Told Vanessa. You're going to change things, she said. Really change things. I'm going to try. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Asterisk Detective Bennett. This is Rebecca Marshall, the woman who recorded the video. I've collected 43 statements from people who experienced harassment at Westfield. When can we meet? Asterisk. Isaiah texted back. Asterisk tomorrow afternoon. I'll send location. Asterisk. Another text. Another person with a story. Then another. Then another. By midnight, Isaiah had received over 200 messages. People sharing experiences. Asking for help. Thanking him for speaking up. He couldn't answer them all. But he read every single one. One message stopped him cold. Asterisk Detective Bennett. My name is Margaret Hayes. I'm Connor's mother. I need to talk to you. Please. Asterisk. Isaiah stared at the message. Connor's mother. The man who'd humiliated him. The man whose career he'd destroyed. He should delete it. Should block the number. Should let Connor's family deal with their own consequences. But something made him respond. I'm listening. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Asterisk my son made a terrible mistake. I'm not asking you to forgive him. I'm not asking you to drop charges or change your statement. I just want you to know that he wasn't raised this way. Somewhere along the way, he became someone I don't recognize. Someone I'm ashamed of. And I'm sorry. I'm so deeply sorry for what he did to you. Asterisk. Isaiah read it 3 times. Vanessa looked over his shoulder. What are you going to say? I don't know. You don't owe her anything. I know. But he typed anyway. Asterisk thank you for reaching out. I appreciate your words. Your son's actions hurt me and many others. But I hope this becomes an opportunity for him to change. To understand why what he did was wrong. To become better. I don't know if that's possible. But I hope it is. Asterisk. He hit send before he could reconsider. Margaret responded immediately. Asterisk thank you. That's more grace than we deserve. Asterisk. Isaiah put his phone down. Looked at Vanessa. Did I just make a mistake? No. You just showed why you're different from him. He saw an enemy. You saw a human. I still want him fired. You can want justice and still have compassion. They're not mutually exclusive. The next morning, Isaiah wore his dress uniform. Vanessa straightened his tie, kissed him, told him she loved him. The commendation ceremony was brief. The commissioner praised his courage, handed him a medal, announced the task force. Cameras flashed. Reporters asked questions. Isaiah gave the same answer to all of them. This isn't about me. This is about every person of color who's been made to feel like a criminal for existing. We're going to change that. After the ceremony, Amanda Chen approached him. She looked like she hadn't slept. Detective, can we talk? They found a quiet corner. Connor filed a wrongful termination suit, she said. He's claiming discrimination. Says he was fired for doing his job. Let him sue. Discovery will be fascinating. That's what our lawyers said. But there's something else. Lisa Hoffman, the store manager. Chen paused. She had a breakdown yesterday. Complete mental collapse. She's in the hospital. Isaiah felt something twist in his chest. What happened? The video. The comments. People found her social media. Found her home address. Started sending threats. Her husband left her. Took their daughter. Said he couldn't be married to a racist. I didn't want that. I know. But it happened anyway. The internet doesn't do nuance. Isaiah thought about Lisa. About her tears. About her mortgage. About how one decision, one moment of bias, had destroyed her entire life. He should feel satisfied. Should feel vindicated. Instead, he felt hollow. Is she okay? He asked. Physically, yes. Mentally. Chen shook her head. The doctors say it'll take time. I want to send her something. Flowers. A card. Something that says, I don't know. That I didn't want this. Chen looked at him strangely. You're serious. She was wrong. What she did was wrong. But I didn't want to destroy her. You didn't destroy her, detective. Her choices did. The system that enabled those choices did. You just held up a mirror. Mirrors can break people. Sometimes people need to break before they can rebuild themselves better. Isaiah nodded. But the hollowness remained. I believe you mean 750 words, not characters. 750 characters would be extremely short, about 2 to 3 sentences. I'll continue with Act 4, Part 2, aiming for approximately 750 words. Act 4, Part 2. That afternoon, Isaiah met Rebecca Marshall at a coffee shop downtown. She arrived with a stack of printed statements. 43 stories. 43 people harmed. Most of them were afraid to come forward before, Rebecca said. But your video gave them courage. Isaiah read through them. Each one hurt. A teenager accused of stealing his own jacket. A woman followed through 3 stores because her purse was too expensive for her. A man handcuffed in front of his children for matching a description that didn't match him at all. Connor did this, Rebecca said. But so did others. The entire security culture at that mall is toxic. Chun is cleaning house. New training. New oversight. New guards. Will it be enough? It's a start. Rebecca leaned forward. What happens now? To Connor? To Lisa? Connor will lose his lawsuit. He'll never work security again. Lisa. Isaiah trailed off. Lisa is paying a price I'm not sure fits the crime. She supported racism. She did. But does that mean her life should be destroyed? Her family torn apart? Her mental health shattered? Rebecca was quiet for a moment. I don't know. I want to say yes. I want to say she deserves everything she's getting. But I've been thinking about all the times I stayed silent. All the times I saw something wrong and told myself it wasn't my business. How different am I from her, really? You recorded the video. You spoke up. After how many times of not speaking up? I'm complicit too. Maybe not as directly, but still. Isaiah understood. The weight of it. The realization that racism wasn't just active harm. It was passive silence. It was the accumulation of small moments where good people did nothing. What matters is what you do now, Isaiah said. You're collecting stories. You're helping people be heard. That counts. Does it erase what I didn't do before? No, but it's still worth doing. His phone buzzed. A call from the hospital. Isaiah stepped outside to answer. Detective Bennett? This is Dr. Reeves from Mercy General. Lisa Hoffman asked me to call you. She wants to speak with you. Isaiah's first instinct was to say no, to let Lisa deal with her consequences alone. But he thought about his father, about Grace, about being better than the system that had failed them both. I'll come, he said. An hour later, Isaiah stood outside Lisa's hospital room. Through the window, he could see her. Pale, small, broken. He knocked. She looked up. Her eyes widened with fear. I'm not here to hurt you, Isaiah said. You asked to see me. Lisa nodded. Her hands twisted the hospital blanket. I wanted to apologize. Face to face. Not through lawyers or statements. I wanted you to see that I know what I did was wrong. Isaiah stepped inside. Kept his distance. Okay. I was raised better than that. My parents would be horrified. I don't know when I started seeing people as threats instead of customers. When I started making assumptions based on skin color. But I did. And I'm sorry. Are you sorry you did it? Or sorry you got caught? Both. Her honesty surprised him. I'm sorry I did it because it was cruel and wrong. And I'm sorry I got caught because now I have to face who I became. And I hate that person. Isaiah sat down. What happens now? For you? I don't know. My husband filed for divorce. My daughter won't talk to me. I lost my job. My friends won't return my calls. I have to start over. Completely. That's hard. It's what I deserve. Maybe. But it's still hard. Lisa looked at him. Really looked. Why are you here? After what I did to you, why would you come? Because I needed to see if you meant it. If you actually understand what you did wrong. Or if you're just sorry for yourself. And I think you're both. Sorry for yourself. And genuinely horrified by what you did. Is that enough? I don't know. But it's something. They sat in silence. Finally, Lisa spoke. What can I do? To make this right? I know I can't undo it. But I want to do something. Isaiah thought for a moment. When you get out of here. When you rebuild. Use your story. Talk to other people in retail. Tell them what happened. What it cost you. How bias destroys lives. Both the people you harm and yourself. Make sure this means something. You think anyone will listen to me? I think people need to hear from someone who failed. Who hurt people. Who lost everything. Because maybe it'll stop them from making the same mistakes. Lisa nodded. I'll try. Isaiah stood to leave. Detective. Lisa's voice stopped him. Thank you. For coming. For not writing me off as unredeemable. I don't know if you're redeemable, Isaiah said honestly. That's up to you. But I hope you are. Because if people like you can't change, then what hope is there for any of this? He walked out. Walked to his car. Sat behind the wheel. And felt something he hadn't expected. Peace. Not satisfaction. Not victory. Just peace. He'd fought. He'd won. He'd changed things. But his mother was gone. The text came that evening while he was having dinner with Vanessa, his sister. 3 words. Mom had a stroke. Isaiah dropped his fork, grabbed his keys. Vanessa was right behind him. They drove to the hospital in silence. His sister met them in the ICU waiting room. Her face told him everything before she spoke. She's gone, Isaiah. She died 20 minutes ago. 6 months later, Isaiah stood in front of a community center in Southeast D.C. The building was old but renovated. Fresh paint, new windows. A sign above the door, Bennett Center for Justice and Advocacy. His mother's name was engraved on a plaque by the entrance. Asterisk Dorothy Bennett. 1952 to 2026. She taught us to stand tall. Asterisk. The center had been Vanessa's idea. Isaiah had received settlement money from Westfield, not for himself, but for leading the task force that exposed systematic discrimination across 12 shopping centers in the metro area. He'd refused to keep it. Use it for something that matters, he'd told Vanessa. So they built this. A place where people could file complaints about discrimination, get free legal help, connect with advocates, learn their rights. A place his mother would have been proud of. Connor Hayes never worked security again. His lawsuit was dismissed. Last Isaiah heard, Connor was working construction in West Virginia. No badge, no authority, no power over anyone. Lisa Hoffman had kept her promise. She started speaking at retail conferences, telling her story. She'd lost everything, her career, her marriage, her reputation. But she was trying to rebuild herself into something better. Isaiah didn't know if she'd succeed, but he respected the attempt. The task force Isaiah led had resulted in 47 terminations, hundreds of retraining programs, new oversight policies at every major shopping center in the region, body cameras on all security personnel, monthly audits by independent firms. It wasn't perfect. Racism didn't disappear because policies changed, but it was progress. Real, measurable progress. Today was the center's grand opening. Community leaders were there, city council members, the police commissioner, news cameras, and dozens of people who'd experienced discrimination and wanted to help others fight back. Isaiah stepped to the microphone. My mother never got to see this, he began. She died the same week I exposed what happened at Westfield. She spent her whole life teaching me to stand up for what's right, to use whatever power I had to protect people who had none. And she never got to see that her lessons worked. His voice caught. Vanessa squeezed his hand. But I think she knew. I think she knew that every story she told me about injustice she faced. Every time she made me promise to be better than the system that failed her. Every moment she spent making sure I understood my responsibility to others. I think she knew it would lead somewhere. Led here. He looked at the crowd. Saw faces of every color. Every background. United by the simple belief that people deserve dignity. This center isn't about revenge. It's not about destroying people who make mistakes. It's about accountability. About making sure that when someone is harmed, they have somewhere to turn. Someone who will listen. Someone who will fight. Isaiah pulled out the small blue box. The anniversary ring. He'd never given it to Vanessa. Couldn't bring himself to. It represented too much pain. This ring cost $47,000. But the real cost was higher. It cost my dignity, my sense of safety. And in a way, it cost me my mother. Because while I was fighting this battle, she was dying alone. He opened the box. The platinum band caught the light. I'm selling this ring. And every penny is going into this center. Because jewelry doesn't change the world. Action does. Courage does. People who refuse to stay silent do. The crowd applauded. Isaiah closed the box. If you've experienced discrimination, come here. If you've witnessed it, come here. If you want to fight it, come here. We can't change everything, but we can change something. And sometimes something is enough. After the ceremony, people lined up to share their stories. Isaiah listened to each one, took notes, connected them with advocates, made sure they knew they weren't alone. An elderly black man approached. He looked familiar. You don't remember me, the man said. But I was there, at Brennan and Company Jewelry Store, 23 years ago. I was the manager who questioned your father's money. Isaiah froze. I've thought about that day every week since, the man continued. Your father's face. The way I humiliated him. I told myself I was following protocol. But I was just scared of black people with cash. Scared they'd gotten it illegally. I was wrong. And I'm sorry. I know it's too late. I know your father is gone. But I needed you to know that I see it now. What I did. What I was. Isaiah didn't know what to say. I volunteer now, the man said. At organizations like this. Trying to make up for the harm I caused. It'll never be enough. But it's something. Thank you, Isaiah said quietly. For telling me. And for trying. The man nodded and walked away. Isaiah watched him go. Thought about cycles. About harm and healing. About how justice wasn't just punishment. Sometimes it was simply witnessing change. Watching people become better than they were. He looked at the center. At his mother's name above the door. At the people streaming in with hope and hurt and determination. Power isn't having a badge. Power is knowing when to use it. And the greatest power is knowing when to build something instead of just tearing something down. Vanessa stood beside him. You did it. You created something that'll outlast all of us. We did it, Isaiah corrected. All of us. His phone buzzed. Another complaint. Another person needing help. Isaiah smiled. The work was never finished. But that was okay. He was ready. If this story of transformation and justice moved your heart, remember that change starts with people who refuse to stay silent. Every voice matters. Every story counts. Every stand for dignity creates ripples that reach further than we'll ever know.